Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to LeTip Live. LeTip is an organization of like-minded individuals brought together to help each other's businesses grow. And today I have a very, very special treat for all of you. He just was on the cover of Communicare and your President of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Zales. How
Hi,
are you,
everybody.
Peter?
Good afternoon. Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Peter, first and foremost, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's been a wild afternoon, but I'm glad I was able to make this time to be here. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. First and foremost, congratulations. If you guys have not checked out Communicare, definitely check it out, and you will see this beautiful picture right here on
Oh, that's me,
Communicare.
all right. What a handsome guy.
What a handsome guy right there, the President of the Year. So I guess we'll kind of start there. One question that I ask everybody who comes on the show, I ask every single guest, is what LeTip means to them. So what does LeTip mean to you?
I would say the first thing that comes to mind is relationships. I came to the group 6 years ago, and for those people out there who might have a guest who didn't join right away, I was one of those guys that came in kicking and screaming after 2 years. I was a hard sell. I came to my first guest event and I hated it. Came to my second guest event and I said, yeah, you know what? This is still not for me. And then what I didn't realize was the seeds were being planted in me. And the person who introduced it to me is a dear friend of mine for over 35 years. So when I was ready to join, I knew I was ready for me. And one of the things I liked about it is I'm basically an introvert and somewhat of a loner. And so what I got is, wow, the power of relationships, because our group here in South Jersey already was over 25 years old. I'm thinking, my God, if some of these people here show up, they can't be showing up for breakfast for 25 years in a row. Some people have been there longer, they've been married. So what I realized is the power of the relationships and the referrals. So that was kind of cool for me. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm sorry I missed it. I'm just doing the audio here. Did you say how long you've been in LeTip yet?
I've been just celebrating my 60th anniversary in April.
Nice,
I came in 2016.
Nice. How long have you been president?
I just finished my 4th year.
Nice, nice.
So
is there any?
I am now a past president, believe it or not. Yes.
Gotcha. Awesome, awesome. So are there any tips? So you've seen the group from both, a member and as a president. Are there any tips and tricks you could, maybe give out the new members out there on how to, utilize the group and get the maximum, returns for themselves?
Well, I think I'm gonna use the 3 P's, which to me are being present, being passionate, and being persistent. And what I always tell either guests or when I used to do inspections is, don't worry about tips when you come here. Just be present. Showing up is the most important thing. I know everybody knows the Woody Allen line is 90% of life is showing up. And I think that's the most valuable thing you can do in LeTip, is because the more you show up, the more we see you and more we hear you, the more we can start to trust you. And also, I think being present means when you're at the meeting is to be present, not to be looking at your smartphone, not to be side talking, not to be looking at your watch, not to be going to the men's room, but actually to be present, to actually listen to guests, listen to new members. We're all mentors as soon as we join the group. And then, passion is one of our core values. We have 6 core values, and passion for me is being excited, having the energy that you want to be there, that you want to grow, and also as a board member, you want to help other people grow. And the third thing is being persistent, because, quite honestly, LeTip, for most people, it's work. I always tell people it's not a vending machine. You don't come there every week, put your quarter in, and you get a tip. And we always talk in our group, because we're almost coming up on 30 years old. We play the long game. You're there to build relationships and not put a quarter in and get, a vending machine. So the persistence means that And Kim Marie says this very well in the NTS. I mean, she wanted to quit 7 times in the first year, which amazed me, you know. And everybody wants to quit, or I should say, most people want to quit because it's like it's hard work, and it's cold, and it's 5 o'clock in the morning. What am I doing this for? And this group sucks, and they don't like me, and I don't like them, and I'm not getting tips. But the persistence part for me is that you're there for yourself, and more importantly, you're there for another person. So.
Absolutely. I love it. Those are the exact examples that I use. I run a marketing studio here, and we're constantly talking about budgets and marketing strategies and stuff like that. And I constantly have to explain, like, there's no slot machine where I could put in $500 in ads and $5,000 going to pop out.
Yeah.
There's a lot more that goes into it. Like, just because you put up something and someone sees it, do they build a relationship from that, right? And that's all, business is building those relationships and forming those bonds and building trust. That's a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, there are exceptions. I mean, you've been around long enough to, like, we do have a guy that sells toner. I mean, that's a widget. He can get a tip every week. We have a pharmacist. He can get a prescription every week. We have an auto mechanic. He can get an oil change every week. But and I'm even in printing and graphics, promotional products. So I might get lucky. I'm selling a lot of totes now in South Jersey, but by and large, most of the people in the group, as you know, are like real estate, insurance, attorneys, financial, which is a long, long relationship oriented thing. And those are the people which, ironically enough, are the cornerstones of the group. So that's why I believe in really the power of relationships and referrals. So
100%. So let's shift gears just a little bit. We obviously know you love the chip, love LeTip. You are the president of the year, so congratulations on that. But let's shift gears to Peter as a person. So Peter, what category and what business are you in?
Okay, I am the printer of the group, and in our group, I'm also the printer and the promotional products guy. So
Awesome.
I've been in some version of printing or graphics for 40 years. So.
Nice.
It's changed a lot, but what I liked about this group is because we're all helping each other grow. I mean, I can help you grow by using my skills at branding, or I could help you marry a postcard together with, a branded tote bag, which is also a branded pen, that type of thing. So, over the last dozen years or so, I've kind of used printing, but I've also used promotional products. So I like that part in our group where I can really help people grow, and obviously I get business that way myself. So
awesome. What made you get into this industry?
Oh Lordy, the old expression is "be careful what you resist," because I swore I'd never go into printing because my dad was a pressman for over 50 years, and I could never understand why he would come home yelling so much. I thought he was yelling at me until I spent a summer working with him when they had these large, like basketball court size presses, and they're so large and so loud that all he did was yell at people for 8 hours a day. And I was, oh my God, he's not yelling at me. He's yelling at everybody. So I was like, dude, I am so not going to get my hands dirty and work as a pressman. However, what I didn't realize is that it was already in my blood. I mean, I had graphics in my blood. I can remember doing scrapbooks when I was 5 years old. And ironically, I went to Temple University here in Philadelphia to be a journalist. So I have kind of a writing background, but I've made my bones pretty much in graphic arts. So,
Nice. So this has been born in blood. You've been doing this forever. So like, how long have you taken over the business? How long have you been in business?
Well, I'm actually an independent contractor. I work for a printing company, but essentially I've been doing that for about, I guess, since the beginning of 2005. So I work under the umbrella of a printing company, although they allow me to sell a lot of different things like promotional products and trade show materials. I've done some web design. I've written radio scripts. I've designed billboards. I've done a lot of different things. So, personally, from my end, on my own, sort of, I've been on for about 10 years or so. But working with other people, like I said, some form or fashion, about 40 years. Yeah.
Nice. So I definitely know the industry. I know it can be fun and crazy at times. So I'm sure you got one. Can you grace us with a nice little story you have from the industry that, maybe you felt really proud of something you did or overcome like, a struggle or something?
Well, two things. I can remember back in the probably late '90s.
Hmm.
I didn't realize it was a large company, but somebody had referred them to me to help them do a change of address card, which was not a big deal. But
Hmm.
there's something about how I did it and met the people that it really clicked. And a very simple change of address card ended up being the beginning of about a 20-year relationship, which was both a great personal thing as well as a great business thing. So I always tell people, $1 million in pennies is still $1 million. So if you can get a large account from just an announcement card, you have
Hmm.
to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I had an account that we did some design work for, and I'd be sitting around a table, and they actually did a service where it's related to senior housing, and they had this idea of using like Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz and doing something like "There's no place like home." I was like, you know what? I kind of was being polite. I said, I don't know if this idea is really kind of great. I'm looking at my shoes, and they're looking at me like, really? So I said, okay, we'll try it. So the point is just when you think you have it all figured out, not only was it a great idea, but it won them and won me a direct marketing award. So
Nice.
I
Very
say that in
nice.
terms of sometimes you just have to check your ego in terms of, you know what? You're not the
Hmm.
smartest guy in the room, even though you think you are. And sometimes another person in the room, as I'm sure you know, has not has a better idea than you. And so usually it's a secretary who walks by to go get coffee, or someone who's in staff, walks by and says, "Nah, that's not a good idea." And think, you know what? I think they have a
Yeah.
good idea. So
Nice, nice. So there's definitely lots of components. I could tell you're very passionate about it. There's definitely a lot of components of your industry. Which one excites you the most? Like what part? There's a lot: printing, designing. What is the thing that most excites you out of all the factors of your industry?
um, that's a good question. I would say after all these years, the part that still excites me is I don't know you, and we meet at 10 o'clock in the morning,
Hmm.
and we're basically beginning the birthing process. I ask you questions, you answer questions, I give you some things to think about, you tell me what you don't like, you tell me what you do like, and within days or weeks we kind of give birth to something. So I like
Hmm.
that. I like the creative process. I think that hasn't changed, even though technology has changed incredibly just in the last
Hmm.
2 years. But the creative process is really cool, where something didn't exist, but you and I putting our heads together, you know, gave birth to an
Hmm.
idea. Sometimes that's ink on paper, sometimes that's a branded message. Sometimes that's just putting a t-shirt, a hat, and together in what they call kitting, which putting it in a box with your logo. But
Hmm.
so all those ideas never existed till you and I got together over coffee, talked sports for a little while or something, talked about our
Hmm.
families, and then 2 weeks later we gave birth to something. That part
Yeah,
still excites me.
absolutely. I feel you the same way. We're very like minded, you and I, Peter.
You're
Great stuff. So,
the handsome guy here. I could see that. So
I'm not. I mean, look at you're the one on the cover. You're the dashing, good-looking dude on the cover. So I love to bring value to our listeners and our viewers, and I think that's one thing that we need to strive for here, especially with LeTip. We're all professionals and experts in our industry that we can really share awesome knowledge with each other. Do you have any tips or tricks that you have from your knowledge in your industry that could help the businesses across the nation? Putting you on the spot, that's a big one, right?
and then in terms of my sphere is graphic arts, you mean, or in design, is that what you're talking about?
I mean, you don't have to pigeonhole yourself into your exact industry, but if there were a tip or trick that you could help, other business owners, I mean, it would be nice if it's something in your industry, something that you would know and your expertise, but you're not limited to that.
Well, this is sometimes the most powerful things are the most obvious ones, and again, we probably are parallel paths. Yours is definitely more of a broadcast a medium. But you'd be surprised if you sit down with someone, or they'll call me on the phone and I get a tip from someone that says, hey, I really don't like my brochure. I'd like you to show me something. And I'll say, well, which logo do you want to use? And they'll say, what do you mean? I'll say, well, you have one logo for your website, one logo for your business card, one logo on your truck. And, I just saw a guy walk in with a different logo on your shirt. So that's the first thing is like, people are blind. They're blindsided. Who looks at your website? You could have purple cows on there and people wouldn't know. So
true.
The first thing I really do is the most obvious is just kind of coordinate your look, just tighten up your brand so everything matches, which sounds corny and boring. Someone just has to say, hey, look, do you want the LeTip logo there, the one, that one, or do you, let's just make all LeTip logos match, number one. And then we can start branding it and put it on your truck. We'll put it on your hat. We'll put it on all your note cards.
Absolutely.
And it's just kind of like a nice, clean look. And it just changes the whole culture of an organization. That's a simple one. And the other thing is,
well, before you do number two, let me just expand real quick. Not only the logo, but now you won't want them to have the same color shirt. You want to use the same maybe 3 color scheme.
Yeah.
So now when they see those colors, they also think of your logo. So you're 100% right. 100% right.
Yeah,
love it. When
the first color you think about Pepsi, Coke, what do you think of? It's red.
Red and white. Yeah.
Target, it's red and white.
Yeah.
So. And I think the other thing, which is also kind of carries over to LeTip, is just listening. And, that's been hard for me. I'll be 100% transparent. It's been so hard for me this past month being past president because I'm so used to being at the front table. And what do? You're talking. And if you're not talking, you're thinking about the next thing you have to say because you're always talking or trying to lead the meeting. And now being out there, in the group, I'm realizing, wow, it's even more impactful to just shut up and listen. And that's basically that's another way to serve people, particularly in the meetings, is to just listen to them, listen to the guests, listen to the people who've been there for 27 years. They know a whole lot more than I do. Even though I'm president of the year, man, there are people who've been there 28 years.
Absolutely.
I just happen to be lucky people voted for me, but there have been people there a lot longer than I have. So it takes humility. No one likes to talk about humility in LeTip, but it takes humility to shut your pie hole. Listen to somebody else. Listen to your past president. I got a lot of knowledge. As I told our current president, he did kind of a listening tour. He went to all the past presidents, had coffee with them. You know what I mean? I said, don't talk to me. You already know me. Go talk to all the other past presidents in the group because they want to, they have information for you. So.
Yeah. And listening, in all aspects is a tough pill to swallow sometimes, especially when, in LeTip, it's a 20, 30, 40, 50 business owners who are the leaders of their businesses who are constantly ordering around. Now they have to come together, and it's probably better for them to listen, which is not what they're doing on an everyday basis. So, you definitely want to listen and always, keep your eye open for some useful information. I do want to remind everybody out there that we are live. So if you guys have a question, comment, concern that you would like to have answered, we can answer it here live with you tonight. Just put it in the comment section. We can answer them live. We have a couple of them here. So let's get rocking and rolling. So this is from John. He says, this year's National President of the Year, you were up against a lot of great chapter presidents from New Jersey, New York, PA, CA, and other places. Who else have you learned from in other chapters across the country? Any tips and tricks that you learned from other chapters?
Sure. President? Hi, John. Thanks for the comment. I would say, there's always good news, bad news. The good news, bad news about COVID is when we were all shut down. I mean, I was on so many leadership calls. I mean, I spent a lot of time with that, and I learned a lot from the leadership calls, particularly when we were all struggling with, man, how are you making out? Or what are you doing with half the room is underwater with tips? I learned a lot of different things from other people, from just as simple as, hey, are you charging dues during COVID? Some people did, some didn't, and find out that, groups that stayed the course and kept their chapter dues and kept the requirements didn't lose any members. I thought that was amazing, because the first impulse was wait a minute, we got to really pump the brakes here and stop everything. But I will give a shout out to the Princeton group, that Princeton, New Jersey, who was, I heard so much about them, that they stayed the course, kept their chapter dues, kept their tip and attendance requirements all through COVID. And the other thing I like to hear from other parts of the country is what works in terms of a new energy, new guests. We did a lot of different things. I'm kind of like to have a lot of fun, and I shared our ideas. But yeah, I did learn a lot of things, particularly during COVID. But that was one of the things about keeping your dues up. The other thing I think was, now we're talking a little bit about how the different chapters are trying to move people into getting off the white badge into green. I heard some great ideas about partnering up with putting 2 mentors together, and maybe making that a contest. I heard some of that from other presidents in the country. Where you can make that a raffle. Make that a prize, that if my 2 mentors help me get a change in badge color, maybe we all get $50 a piece or something like that. That's a great idea for it. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome stuff, Peter. And you know who else says you're doing an awesome job? Kim Marie herself. She's tuning in. And Kim Marie says, awesome job, Peter. Thank you, Kim Marie. We love you. Thank you for tuning in and joining us as well. And I do want to remind you guys, we are live. So if you have anything you'd like to chime in, please put it in the comments section, and we'll answer it live here with you tonight with Peter Zales, our President of the Year. We got another question coming in. This is a good one. This is also from John. He says, if you were given 15 seconds to sell other printers on joining a LeTip group, what would you say to them?
Oh my. I would say to show up, and there's a lot of relationships here, and there's a lot of different businesses that if you listen, there's ways that you can help other members grow. And there's a lot of things you can do with printing and graphics that you can help people. If you focus on helping them grow as opposed to getting a tip, that's the best way I can help printers. Don't come in thinking for a tip, thinking out how I can help that person grow with your printing skills.
Absolutely. I feel like I totally agree with you. A lot of people, when they first maybe see the group or just in general networking, they're always trying to get for themselves first rather than give. And you really want to take an opposite mindset and really think, what value can you provide first before even thinking about getting some yourself? Super quick, there's a great book called The Go Giver. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's called The Go Giver. Definitely check that out, guys. It's all about that same mindset.
One of our past presidents just celebrated his 21st year in the group. He talks about that book a lot. Yeah,
it's a good book. It's a good book, everybody. Great stuff. Just want to remind you guys, last chance. If you want to put a question in the comments section, we can ask Peter live here tonight, our President of the Year. Peter, any questions, comments, concerns you have?
Oh my goodness.
Nothing in the spot. Just seeing if you want to share anything with the tip community here.
Well, one of the things it happened late April, and I got to confess, I am still humbled and honored that this happened to me. And our group is not the largest group. We've been sitting on, between 40 and 45. I know there's much larger groups, but I guess what I learned is not the size of the group, it's the size of the heart in the group. And I'm totally flabbergasted and honored that our group would think enough about me. And this is being totally honest, because I have no patience with surveys and voting, and I had to really slow down because I voted people. But Kim Marie, I love you, but I thought voting was very hard this year, where you had to actually vote once and then shut down and vote again. So I kept telling people, like, look, I love you, but take your time and vote for the people in our group. So I am honored that people would slow down, take time, and actually honor me as president. I find that very flabbergasting and yet humbling. So
No, you definitely deserve it, especially in the small interactions we've had. I could definitely tell you have a big heart and you're always looking to help people. It's great. There's Kim Marie again, National President of the Year. Love it, love it, love it. Great stuff, great stuff. So are you ready to have a little fun?
Oh,
We're
sure.
gonna
Why not?
we're gonna do a speed round. Are you ready for the
Speed dating.
speed
I know
round?
it's speed dating with the tip. That's great.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a speed round. I'm gonna ask you short, quick questions.
Okay,
Don't overthink them. We're just gonna do rapid fire. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. And away we go. All right. Favorite food?
Meatloaf.
Awesome. Favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite movie?
Wow. It's a Wonderful Life and or Patton.
All right. All right. Is there anything you're watching, streaming, or TV shows?
Good Lord. I watch a lot of Turner Classic movies.
All right.
Film noir. I watch a lot of film noir. I'm a
Nice.
sucker for the 40s.
All right. I like it. I like it. Favorite book? It could be business book or not business book. Whatever tickles your fancy.
Greatest Salesman by Og Mandino. Greatest Salesman in the World. Great book.
Awesome. Awesome. First concert, and then give me your best concert.
First concert, I believe, was Chicago and the Beach Boys.
Awesome.
Because I remember being exposed to this wafting smell of grass everywhere at the Farm Show Arena in Harrisburg. And my girlfriend,
They just did the landscaping. They just did the landscaping.
Yes. And what was the second part of the question? I'm sorry.
So the first concert you ever been to,
Yeah.
and then the best concert you ever been to.
Paul McCartney live here in Philadelphia. Yeah, Wells Fargo Center. I mean, that guy was like just turning early 70s. He put 3 hours and 40 minutes with no break. I mean, good Lord. That was
Awesome.
something.
Great stuff. I think you survived. You survived the lightning round, the speed round. I got a couple, you can elaborate a little more. I got a couple of questions for you. Like, for example, do you have any hobbies besides business, besides work? What do you do to relax? And what do you like to do when you're not working?
I used to do a fair amount of recreational running. I've done 5 marathons, including the New York Marathon. And but my knees caught up with me. But I was able to just do what we would call the Broad Street Run, which is the longest 10-mile run here in the country. Goes right down Broad Street in Philadelphia. So I was able to do that for a dear friend of mine who was my running buddy for 20 years, who's passed away from brain cancer. So I ran that in his memory and for his widow. So that was cool. That was May 1st. So I do that. I hang out with my grandson a lot. I don't really coach him in T-ball, although my son thinks I coach him in T-ball. So I love being a grandpa. I mean, wait till you become a grandfather. When he calls me Papa Z, or when he drops all his stuff to run a half a block and just grab me by the knees. Oh my God, I turn into a puddle. So I love being a grandpa. And I like to do a lot of stuff with local community and church stuff. I like to do a number of things that way. I help out with the media team as well there in back of church. Yeah.
Awesome. Great stuff, Peter. We have another question from Connor. Connor asked, do you have the same mindset for business you do for running?
Good Lord. Yeah, I would say persistence, Yeah. My body, and take a look, guys. This body is not built for running, but I found out, you could teach your body to be on a couch and eat Cheerios, or you could teach your body to go out and run, So I think it's the same thing for business or LeTip, that you could just getting ready for the Broad Street Run. I downloaded the basic 12-week course to how to get ready for a 10-mile run. And, your body will do whatever you tell it to do. If you want to go out for 3 miles, or if you want to sit and watch Turner Classic for 3 hours, do that. So in terms of running and business, it's the same thing. I can't tell you many meetings I did not want to show up for as president, but You get up there, it's showtime, it's go time. Same way with work. I think you just break it down to baby steps and meet small goals. And next thing you know, after 12 weeks, maybe got a great account, or maybe you get to be president of the year. Who knows?
Yeah. Absolutely. I tricked myself. So instead of just running in the street, I'll like play basketball and have like a goal, or like
There you go.
play a sport. So I try to fake myself out.
Yeah.
But speaking of running, one question we have is, would you ever decide to run for a second term as president?
I would
This
love.
is a tough question, guys.
Yeah, I know this is
right.
tough. I thought we were going to start out with like, what color sweatpants you have on right now, or something. But I have SpongeBob SquarePants sweatpants on. But,
nice. Room attire.
I'll never say never, but I think my dream job, which I love even more than being president, was membership chair. I was membership chair for 1 year, and I just love that a lot. So, we have a great president right now. Hello, Paul Short, if you're out there. He's doing a great job. He's on fire. We're on our way to 50 members real soon. So I loved it, but I think my first love really is membership chair. So
great stuff. All right, we're coming to the end, guys. So last chance, if you want to put a question in the comment section. Last chance, if you want to put a question, put it in the comment section. We'll answer it live. Here's one more. What is your favorite tip received? Doesn't have to be the largest, but one that has led to the most fun in the company to deal with.
Well, I think, and this kind of goes to the spirit of giving, and I know I've picked this up. I've caught this from Kim Marie or Paul Delaval, that for a while I did web design in our group, and people were kind enough to say, hey, if we bring this web guy, you might lose some money. I said, well, you know what, bring him in, because I'm a printer. I'm just doing webs to be a nice guy. And as it turned out, bringing that member in, he brought in 2 other members, which helped the group grow. But more importantly, he got me a printing and design account, which I still have. And ironically, they're only like 9 blocks from my house. So we call that a ricochet or pinball tip, where, it just kind of bounces around. So again,
you could run your deliveries to his.
Yeah, really, he's 9 blocks away. And it's one of those things you kind of have to let go of the clutching of, oh my God, if I give up my website, I might be giving up income, which I did. But what I got in return was not only 3 other people joining the group, which probably, grew the group in terms of tips and membership, but also I got something back in my bucket, which was, a long-standing design, and he also sells CBD oil, which he helps me out. So there you go.
Very nice. Awesome stuff. Last chance, guys, for the comments in the comments section and questions, and that you guys may have, please put them in the comment section. Last
John is on fire with questions. I think you've been playing.
John, Connor, Kim Marie. We got a fun-filled crew here joining us tonight. But yeah, guys at home, don't hesitate to put a question in the comment section, and we'll answer it live. But this is your last chance and last warning to do that. Anything that you'd like to leave our fellow tippers here with? Do you have one last tip, one last gem, anything, advice that you'd like to leave everybody here with?
Well, I think that what I learned being a president. Hello, Connor. Thank you. What I learned about being president, particularly in a group with so many years and so many personalities, is that your personality is not your person. You know what I'm saying? We have, I know it's true for me. And what I found out is it's very easy to judge someone's personality or react to their personality in the group. And what I've had to find out as president is take the extra step and actually sit down and talk with them and find out about their person, find out about their heart, because their personality, they might be a curmudgeon, and yet their heart is they're a scared introvert, or they might come across as grumpy, but it might be because stuff's going on at home. And what I found out, particularly during COVID, is the personalities often do not match the persons at all. And so it's so easy to judge people. You're there for an hour and a half saying, oh my God, that guy drives me crazy. All he does is talk. All that guy does is talk about himself. But when you really sit down, you realize, hey, this guy's got a lot to offer here. I think he should be a board member. It just takes that extra step to really get to know someone beyond their personality, especially if, you don't like that personality. Don't feel drawn to that person. It's like, oh my God, what's going on here? So that is one of the big things I've learned, is that we are not our personalities.
I like it. I like it. One last question. We have to answer this one. This is from Kim Marie herself. It just came in. How do you give back to members across the country, like being in the advisory board to LeTip?
Oh, that Kim Marie. Always playing the easy ones for me. Well, this little button here is not actually an ejector button. This button tells you that I'm on the advisory board, and Kim Marie was kind enough to ask me to jump on board, and I'm part of one of 12 people selected across the country. And what we do, God bless that Kim Marie, she included us first time only to include members in terms of the recrafting of the bylaws. And so we meet frequently, quarterly. Kim Marie helped me out here to discuss things that come up. And what I liked about it is she's actually asking opinion from the from the ground up, from the grassroots, as opposed to corporate down. And I really like that approach. So how I'm able to serve, and I invite other people certainly to plug into that. You definitely have a voice. And what I like about Kim Marie's approach, as well as Paul and Summers, is that we do have a voice here. We're the people that are out there slugging away every week, and I really appreciate the fact that she's asked me as well as other people to participate.
Yeah, absolutely. Kim Marie's awesome. She's always asking people what's going on, and has her ear to the ground, making sure everyone across the
answers her cell phone, for crying out loud. She actually answers her cell phone.
Yeah. If she can do it, there's no reason every other business and every chapter can't do it either. Absolutely.
Raise your hand if you know a president or a CEO answers their own cell phone if you call.
Right. So last chance. I mean, I think that's good with the comment section. If one were to sneak in right now, maybe we'd ask it. But for the most part, great job, Peter. It was a pleasure meeting you. Awesome getting to know you. Anything else you'd like to tell anybody? Last chance.
Well, I'm just so amazed at how we all got through COVID together.
Mm-hmm.
I 2 years ago I couldn't even spell Zoom, much less run a meeting. And I think what amazed me is, as I said at the beginning, is the power of relationships definitely revealed itself during COVID. We were all shut down, and I'm thinking, like, how in the world is this going to work? And to see people not only show up, but show up at 20 minutes early, and to see people cry, and to see people laugh, and to see people interact, and then stay on 20 minutes after, I realized, wow, you know what? This is not, you start connecting with, it's only LeTip if we have breakfast and coffee, or it's only LeTip if we walk each other to the car after meeting. What I found out in those 15 or 17 months is that it really is the power of relationships, and that comes through whether you're in Zoom or whether you're at a diner. And that's something that I was totally amazed at how that all worked for us locally and corporately. I'm so glad that so many people hung in there together, including corporate, to get us all through the COVID. So
great stuff. Yeah, it's been great that we were able to stay together, one big family, and get through some hard times. And that's what we're all here for. We're all here for each other. So absolutely great job, Peter. Thank you so much for joining us. If you guys haven't checked your emails, which you should be checking your emails for the Communicare, which is our LeTip magazine, you will see this month's cover, which is our President of the Year, Peter Zales. Peter, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you guys for watching at home.
Thanks so much. Thanks, Doug. Nice meeting you.
You too. So, guys, thank you guys for watching again. And I'm just trying to cue up the music. For whatever reason, it is not working, but we're going to get it here right now. And we'll catch you next time on LeTip Live.
Thank you, Doug. Have a good day.
Thank you.